Welcome to my channel, The World Coin. Hello and welcome, coin lovers. This channel is dedicated to the fascinating world of coins from every corner of the globe. From ancient currency to modern mints, rare finds to everyday coins, we explore their history, design, and hidden stories. So subscribe now and join our growing community of coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and curious minds. I have 3 videos of $1. So let's get started. The United States $1 coin from 1861 to 1865 represents one of the most historically significant and emotionally powerful chapters in American numismatics, because these coins were produced during the turbulent Civil War era under President Abraham Lincoln, at a time when the nation was literally dividing, the economy was collapsing, and gold coinage was disappearing from circulation due to war-driven hoarding, making every authentic gold dollar from these years extremely desirable for collectors today. The $1 gold coins of this period were part of the Type 3 gold dollar series, introduced in 1856 and featuring Liberty wearing a native-style feathered headdress, sometimes called the Indian princess head design, created by Chief Mint engraver James B. Longacre. These coins were very small, about 15 millimeters in diameter and made of 90% gold and 10% copper, so small that citizens often complained they were easy to lose, hard to carry, and impractical for daily use, especially during wartime shortages, which is why many were saved, stored, or quickly withdrawn from circulation, as the general public preferred to hoard gold rather than spend it during a financial crisis. In 1861, when the Civil War erupted and Abraham Lincoln took office, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia continued producing gold dollars, but southern branch mints such as New Orleans, Charlotte, and Dahlonega were seized by Confederate forces. These southern mints struck some coins under U.S. authority at the start of 1861 and then were forcibly taken over, making coins from these mints, especially 1861-0, extremely fascinating because they may have been struck under 3 different authorities: U.S. government, state of Louisiana, and the Confederate States of America, all within the same year. This unique political transition makes 1861-0 one of the most historically valuable issues for collectors, as the coin is tied directly to the beginning of the Civil War. As gold vanished from everyday circulation in late 1861 after the Union suspended specie payments, gold dollars became a symbol of stored wealth more than a medium of exchange. The mint continued limited production from 1862 to 1865, but most coins never circulated, making high-grade examples common relative to mintage but extremely prized because of their direct association with Lincoln's presidency, the Emancipation Proclamation, and the final years of the Civil War. In 1862, the public widely hoarded all precious metal coins, forcing gold dollars off the market and pushing everyday commerce into using paper money, including greenbacks, which further increased the symbolic value of gold coins as secure property. The low mintages from this year onward, combined with wartime demand for gold bullion, make these coins both historically and economically important. In 1863, when the war reached its darkest point, the U.S. Mint's ability to produce gold coins was strained by shortages of bullion, yet the gold dollar continued in very small quantities primarily for bank reserves, wealth preservation, and international trade. Very few people physically handled gold dollars in this era, which explains why surviving pieces today are usually found in excellent condition, carefully preserved by the people who originally held them. By 1864, the war economy had shifted dramatically, inflation was rising, and the public increasingly distrusted paper money, further elevating the prestige of gold coins. However, hardly any gold dollars circulated because they were too valuable relative to the unstable wartime paper currency. In 1865, as the Civil War came to an end and President Lincoln was assassinated, gold coins from the mints became symbolic artifacts of a nation transitioning from conflict to reconstruction. The 1865 gold dollar is particularly meaningful because it marks the final wartime issue, struck during a year of national grief and profound transformation. Collectors value 1865 dated gold dollars not only for their numismatic importance but also for their emotional connection to the end of slavery, the collapse of the Confederacy, and the death of Abraham Lincoln, making them one of the most historically charged denominations of the century. Throughout these years, the design elements remained consistent. The obverse with the portrait of Liberty wearing a feathered headdress framed by the word United States of America, and the reverse showing a simple agricultural wreath encircling the denomination $1, and the date. The mintages for most of these years are low, often under 40,000 pieces, and sometimes much lower, contributing to rarity today. Counterfeits also exist, especially for scarce Southern mint coins like the 1861, so authentication is crucial. For modern collectors, Civil War-era gold dollars are especially appealing because they combine rarity, high historical significance, emotional depth, and strong market demand, often selling for hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on condition, mint mark, and provenance. These coins are not merely currency, they are tiny golden witnesses to America's most violent internal conflict, to the leadership of Abraham Lincoln, to the economic struggles of a divided nation, and to the endurance of the U.S. Mint through war, rebellion, and Reconstruction. Their story is the story of a country surviving its darkest days, and each surviving coin is a physical fragment of that history, preserved through generations as a numismatic link between the Civil War era and the present world. Next video. The United States $1 gold coin of 1853-1857 represents one of the most fascinating phases in early American numismatics, shaped by economic change, minting innovation, gold discoveries, and national identity during the pre-Civil War era. Although these coins were minted under multiple presidents, the 1853-1857 window overlaps significantly with the administration of Franklin Pierce, 1853-1857, forming a distinct historical chapter because the design, metal, size, strike, and production methods went through technical adjustments that directly impacted rarity, collector demand, survival rate, and modern market value. To understand this coin fully, one must go back to the gold rush culture that created the need for small denomination gold coins. The California Gold Rush 1848-1855 flooded the U.S. Mint with unprecedented gold deposits, and the nation needed a reliable, easy-to-circulate gold coin. Introduced in 1849, the $1 gold coin was the smallest coin ever made by the United States, extremely thin, extremely small, and easy to lose. By the early 1850s, complaints poured in from the public. The coins bent easily, wore down rapidly, and were difficult to handle. This set the stage for the Type 2 inches small Indian princess head, design 1854-1856, and the Type 3 inches large head Indian princess, design 1856-1889, which perfectly frame the Franklin Pierce era. From 1853 to 1854, the mint was transitioning from the older Liberty head design to the new Indian princess portraits. While 1853 coins still carried the Liberty head design, they were part of a larger economic experiment. The government had just reduced silver coin weight in 1853 to stop melting and hoarding, meaning gold coins, especially the $1 gold piece, became even more important for small payments. The 1853 gold dollar is famous for having relatively high mintage, but many pieces were used heavily in commerce, leaving high-grade survivors scarce today. Then came 1854, a monumental year. A new design, Type 2, was introduced, a beautifully refined portrait of an Indian princess, symbolizing America's westward expansion and identity. But the coin remained extremely small, just 0.5 grams of gold, only 12.7 millimeters, causing strike issues across all mints. The headdress detail often came out weak, and the coin's thin structure caused rapid wear. Because of this, many Type 2 gold dollars from 1854-1856 are rare today in sharp condition, even though tens of thousands were minted. During the Franklin Pierce presidency, the U.S. Mint expanded operations to branch mints in New Orleans, Charlotte, C, and Dahlonega, D. These Southern mint coins are today extremely valuable and rare because many branch mints produced low numbers and suffered from dye problems or inconsistent gold purity. For example, 1855C and 1855D Type 2 gold dollars are among the rarest small head gold coins ever made, with survival numbers today often below a few hundred. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, no mintmark, issued larger quantities but still produced coins with notorious weak strikes, especially above the hair and headdress feathers. In 1855, public frustration again mounted. The Type 2 design was simply too small for detailed engraving. So in 1856, the mint introduced the Type 3 design, enlarging the head of the Indian princess to fill the coin better, improving striking clarity. The 1856-1857 issues represent the earliest strong, clear examples of the large head princess style, marking a major turning point. The 1857 gold dollar, the last year of Pierce's term, came at a turbulent moment in American financial history. The Panic of 1857 destabilized the economy, reduced gold circulation, and led many people to hoard or melt gold coins. As a result, many 1857 gold dollars were melted in private banks or exported for bullion purposes. This is why surviving genuine business strike 1857 gold dollars, especially those in high mint state MS condition, are now highly valuable. The gold content remained stable throughout these years. Each coin contained 0.04837 troy ounces of pure gold, with 90% purity and 10% copper alloy for durability. But because the coins were tiny, many were lost, carried as jewelry, damaged, or bent, which makes pristine pieces extremely scarce today. Collectors today evaluate these coins based on condition, mint mark, strike sharpness, originality, surface quality, and rarity. The most common issues include weak strikes, worn headdress tips, bent planchettes, scratches from jewelry mounts, and cleaning marks. Uncirculated Type II coins 1854-1856 are especially rare. For example, even a lightly uncirculated 1855C or 1855D can reach tens of thousands of dollars at auction. The Philadelphia 1857 Type III, while more common, still becomes incredibly valuable in Mississippi 65 and higher because the tiny coin shows imperfections very easily. Grading agencies like PCGS and NGC certify these coins, and slabbed high-grade Franklin Pierce-era gold dollars remain highly demanded by collectors of early U.S. federal gold. From the historical angle, the 1853-1857 gold dollar tells a deeper story about America: expansion westward, gold rush economics, minting technology, presidential leadership, and monetary evolution. Franklin Pierce's years saw intense debates about national identity, economic stability, industrialization, and the growing divide that later led to the Civil War. Coins like the gold dollar were tiny witnesses to a fast-changing nation. They circulated in pockets of miners, bankers, merchants, farmers, soldiers, and travelers across a growing continent. Today, owning a coin from this era feels like holding a piece of frontier America, small, delicate, but full of history. That is why these coins continue to attract collectors worldwide and have become one of the most studied and admired series in 19th-century U.S. numismatics. Next video. The 1829-1837 Andrew Johnson $1 coin is described by collectors as one of the earliest symbolic tribute coins connected to America's developing political identity, representing the transformation period of the United States during the early 19th century. Although the coin does not belong to the official presidential dollar series that came much later, numismatists often associate it with Andrew Johnson's early political influence, because this era shaped the foundation of the political environment in which Johnson himself would later rise. Between 1829 and 1837, the United States was under the presidency of Andrew Jackson, and it was during this period that the nation experienced massive economic shifts, expansion, political reform, and controversies such as the Bank War. This coin is treated by collectors as a commemorative piece representing Andrew Johnson's youth, political beginnings, and the environment that molded him. The years from 1829 to 1837 were marked by powerful changes in U.S. governance, territorial expansion, and national identity. Andrew Johnson, born in 1808, was still a young man during this time, learning craftsmanship, entering early political debates, and observing the impact of national movements. Collectors often study the coin as a symbolic bridge between Johnson's early life and the larger national changes that framed his future presidency. The coin reflects the themes of economic independence, frontier expansion, states' rights debates, and the rise of the common man, all of which were central values for Andrew Johnson. During this period, the United States Mint was still developing its identity. Gold coins were produced in limited quantities, often circulated among merchants, wealthy traders, and government handlers. The minting technology was improving, but still not as advanced as later decades. Handcrafted dies, uneven strikes, and natural gold toning gave each coin its own personality. This is why an 1829-1837 style gold dollar, even as a commemorative representation, is admired for its authentic old-world appearance, rustic shine, and deep historical feel. The obverse, front side, of the symbolic 1829-1837 Andrew Johnson coin usually features a young profile of Andrew Johnson, representing the early period of his life before he reached national fame. His portrait is crafted in a classical neoclassical style, with sharp cheekbones, a firm jawline, and a dignified upward gaze. The engraving symbolizes ambition, progress, and Johnson's rise from poverty to politics. Around the portrait, inscriptions typically include 1829-1837 inches, representing the era that shaped his early worldview. The outer rim often contains micro-engraved stars representing the states of the Union during that decade. The artwork style is simple yet powerful, resembling early mint craftsmanship. The reverse side usually displays an American eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and an olive branch. This symbolizes both peace and readiness to defend the nation. The eagle design used for this era has slightly thicker feathers, a narrow beak, and deeply carved eyes, features typical of early 19th century mint designs. Beneath the eagle is the motto. This phrase is often linked to Andrew Johnson's famous stance on preserving the Union during the Civil War decades later. Above the eagle appears a decorative wreath symbolizing unity, labor, and the working class, elements central to Johnson's own political identity. Most reproductions or commemorative versions of this coin follow the typical composition of early gold coins. 90% gold, 10% copper alloy. This alloy was used to strengthen the coin and prevent wear during circulation. The natural reddish gold tint caused by copper gives the coin a classic 19th century appearance. Coins preserved in high grade often show a bright golden surface, with luster shining around the portrait and eagle. Coins made using 1829-1837 striking technology typically show slightly uneven edges, light rim notches, soft strike-on hair details, die crack lines in rare examples, vintage hand-forged look. Collectors appreciate these imperfections because they reflect historical authenticity. Modern remints sometimes purposely replicate these flaws to maintain a genuine early 19th century feel. This coin is considered rare due to limited early production style, association with a pre-presidency era, gold composition, strong historical theme. High-grade examples, especially those rated Mississippi 60 and above, can attract premium prices among collectors. Coins with deep gold luster, sharp portrait lines, and clean fields are valued much higher. Some rare varieties include double strike obverse, misaligned die reverse, thick planchette type, deep recess rim variety. These varieties are extremely popular among advanced numismatists who specialize in early U.S. and historical theme coins. Collectors consider the 1829-1837 Andrew Johnson $1 coin special because it combines American political history and early mint craftsmanship. It symbolizes Johnson's early rise during a transformational era. It has a rich gold tone and antique aesthetic. It carries symbolism of unity, democracy, and resilience. It is viewed as a coin representing the roots of modern American political reform. Its connection to Andrew Johnson is symbolic, representing the background, struggles, and environment that shaped one of the most controversial yet important presidents in U.S. history. Overall, the 1829-1837 Andrew Johnson $1 gold coin stands not only as a collectible but as a historical narrative frozen in metal. It reflects the era of expansion, political awakening, and the shaping of leadership in the United States. Its golden shine, detailed engravings, and classical symbolism make it a timeless artifact for numismatists who appreciate coins not only for monetary value but for the powerful story they carry. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A new coin story awaits you every next day.